Behind this door is a humble host, wanting little more than to deliver gaming news. Little do they know, their life is a video game, and the player just learned how to mod. This is the Daily Dix, with your host, Macho Man Randy Savage.
This episode is brought to you by The Twilight Zone. Go to cbs.com/dailyfix and start streaming the new season of The Twilight Zone, which started Thursday, June 25th, yesterday. I'm Sydnee Goodman. Roll the thing. It's been a week since The Last of Us Part 2 dropped, and it's already sold 4 million copies between June 19th and June 21st. That makes it the fastest selling PS4 exclusive ever. Period. End of sentence. Senior VP of PlayStation Worldwide Marketing, Eric Lempel, celebrated the milestone on the PlayStation blog and more or less confirmed that The Last of Us Part 2 has surpassed Spider-Man as Sony's fastest-selling exclusive for the PS4. Neil Druckmann, VP of Naughty Dog and director of The Last of Us Part 2, shared a message with fans. Quote, "We are so immensely grateful to the millions of fans around the world that have played The Last of Us Part 2 and shared their experiences with us over the last week." He goes on to thank the, quote, "efforts of the hundreds of talented and passionate developers here at Naughty Dog, and of course, fans, for helping them reach the milestone." This announcement comes on the heels of an interview that dropped earlier this week where an ex-PlayStation executive, Sean Layden, made a case for current AAA development growth being unsustainable. First reported by GamesIndustry.biz, Layden Laydened out that The Last of Us Part 2 is approximately 10 hours longer than its predecessor and more technologically advanced, meaning it likely costs a lot more to develop. Yet, it still retails for $59.99. He went on to explain that current generation development costs reach somewhere between $80 million and $150 million, not including marketing for AAA games. With each generation, AAA budgets have historically doubled, meaning that PS5 development budgets could hit $300 million. That makes it a whole lot harder to recoup your investment and therefore narrows the field of games being made. Layden offered a few solutions, one being retail prices. He calls for, quote, elasticity on the price point so that if a game is longer and more technologically advanced, it could retail for a higher amount. He also suggested developers consider spending 3 years on a 15-hour experience versus 5 years on an 80-hour game, which could help keep costs in control and maintain the standard $60 retail price point. All this to say, Layden is likely correct that The Last of Us Part 2 cost a whole lot more to develop than its predecessor, but it also just sold 4 million copies in 3 days. There's a lot of factors here to consider, like the fact that this is a sequel with a built-in fan base, but does this make a case against Layden calling the current AAA game development model unsustainable? Without being an expert in game development and game dev budgets, I would say The Last of Us Part 2 is a bit of an outlier, and you can't really judge industry trends by the record breakers. It's also the end of a console generation, so theoretically this is the time when there's a peak number of consumers with a PS4 ready to purchase a new game. Naughty Dog are a unique success story, but they've nevertheless just launched a AAA game that's definitely going to make its budget back. So maybe the AAA engine isn't out of gas yet. What do you think? Do price points or game lengths need to change? Or is the AAA experience still what you're here for? Would you be willing to spend more than $60 on a game? I am genuinely curious to hear your thoughts, so please do let me know in the comments. And now, for something completely different. Netflix has shared an inside peek at the Cuphead Show, the animated Netflix series that spawned from, you guessed it, Cuphead, the game based on the show that never existed but now it does. The BTS look shows off character concept art for Cuphead and his brother Mugman, and introduces us to the show's, quote, ragtag tribe of enthusiastic artists and animators, as well as the primary voice cast. It's really interesting to me that Cuphead is bringing about this resurgence of Fleischer-style cartoons. Think Betty Boop and Popeye the Sailor. It reminds me of that old saying, what is old is new again under the sun. Is that a saying? May what is dead never die. Am I just quoting Game of Thrones? In either case, the team behind the Cuphead show is keeping an old style of animation alive, and I am here for it. We still don't have a release date though, as this video shows us the official poster for the series, followed by a simple coming soon title card. And that's your Daily Fix. I'm Sydnee Goodman, and I hope your day is as awesome as you are. Now that you're all caught up on the news, check out our video where 2 of our IGN editors talk about their very different playthroughs of the Cyberpunk 2077 preview. Don't forget, you can get even more Summer of Gaming goodness over on TikTok. Follow the hashtag Summer of Gaming to see even more exclusives, gameplay, and originals. Download the IGN app on all your mobile devices. Subscribe to the Daily Fix on Snapchat, and for all things everything else, IGN.com. Have a rad weekend, everyone.